Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are here today. I think that what we are seeing here is something that potentially is going to change the sport. And it is spurred partially by high limit in this whole split into the serious topics of the scenario and the situation. Justin Pursley is moving to the BUCH Motorsports number 13 for 2025. This is a decent pairing. Justin Pursley's looked pretty quick, still relatively young, even though we've heard his name for years in the midget ranks. And he's going to be getting into the BUCH car. And apparently, based on Justin Peck's post, this is not a bad splitting here. Justin Peck says he's elected to part ways with BUCH. Grateful to be presented with many opportunities and wins with the BUCH Motorsports number 13. I wish nothing but success for the team and their future endeavors. We've heard nothing but good things based on this partnership splitting here. Intrigueness on how Justin Pursley will do. Obviously, racing all the time is something that non-wing world gives you. Traveling all the time, not necessarily the case, but young, looking for opportunity, I'm sure it'll work out. He's fast. There is some underlining hints here that Justin Peck is going to the CJB number 5. And see, when I originally heard this, I was like, okay, well, Justin Peck has to be a little upset about this. I mean, anytime you trade teams or switch out or a guy gets in your car, you got to be a little upset. Obviously, that's not the case. But if he's not upset, I mean, and there's a rumor of him going to the CJB number 5, how is Spencer Bayston feeling about that? You know, and apparently CJB is potentially going outlaws. I hear Garrett Williamson's potentially going to go outlaws next year. Just some rumors of who I think is going that direction. Maybe gravel to high limit. Who knows? If you're Spencer Bayston, are you feeling good about this rumor going around? Now, and this is also something you got to consider that's completely different than prior years. BUCH Motorsports was going for a charter position. They're not in position to get one. They did not land in the top 5, but it could have went that direction. And let's just say in the scenario where you're going to have these 10 charter teams come the end of next year, is this potentially a scenario where we are seeing the need for multi-year contracts between drivers and teams? And job security in the driving seat is really a premium. Most of these owners, their main business is on the side of the car. It's not necessarily a make it or break it scenario to where winning races or performing well is going to make their livelihood stay or go away. Whereas for these drivers, more than likely it is their livelihood. Some will say merchandise, but then also that merchandise is tied to a car. I mean, how much Justin Peck number 13 shirts and sweatshirts and hoodies or any kind of merchandise is going to sell now for the rest of the year? This security issue, now that the teams have some security with an affiliation with the series, now we got to work on the drivers earning some security and affiliations with these car owners and teams that are operating. So I think this is leading towards that next step. Another situation that came up today that was impactful, and most people saw it coming with the situations around the hurricane activity. East Bay Raceway Park has washed out their $50,000 to win grand finale event that was planned to happen with the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. Of course, East Bay, this is their final year. They wanted to go out with a bang. The bang was planned to be this Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series event in October 10th and 12th. It has canceled now. East Bay is done with premier racing at its facility. It is over. East Bay has washed out, and unfortunately for everybody in that area, they are suffering. But this is not how a lot of people wanted this to end. But due to things we can't control, Hurricane Helen caused just too much of a damageable situation for them to get this event in. The good news out of this, I guess, the only good news is that this did open up a weekend for the Brownstown Speedway Jackson 100. That is now slotted into the Friday, October 11th and 12th dates. And that's going to be a pretty good race, a great racetrack. I also think this does take a little stress off of the teams, especially the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series teams who are traveling. up and down the road. I mean, guys, if this race did stay going, even though everybody wants to see it happen, I'm sure it's a great deal, great idea. It was awesome for East Bay, but these drivers would have had to go from Pittsburgh this week, go all the way down to Tampa, Florida the next, and then make their way all the way back up to Eldora. So that would have been a very tough turnaround and travel for these teams. Like I said, unfortunate the races are going to happen, but if there is any positive, a lot of these teams now don't have to drive across the country. And like I said, that's the only positive. Really, I don't see any positive in this at all. This is not the last race at East Bay, though. They did post to their Facebook. Once again, there's the overhead picture of the track. East Bay Raceway Park did make a post on their Facebook page that this is not the last race. There is no racing for Saturday, October 5th for anyone. It has been rescheduled now, which is their, I guess, going to be now their final race, and that is this Rusty Dixon Memorial. It has been rescheduled. This race has been rescheduled to November 2nd with a practice on November 1st. All classes originally scheduled, which is Gaggles Modifieds, Late Model Street Stocks, V8 Warriors, Gladiators, will race on November 2nd. Nothing until November 1st practice. The grand finale is canceled. They're reiterating that on their Facebook page. So there is still a supplemental grand finale last race for East Bay Raceway Park, and it will be that Rusty Dixon Memorial event on November 2nd, and they will have a practice on November 1st. Not sure where that's streaming. I would assume, or I would suggest they put that on a stream. Maybe people do want to see the last race at East Bay Raceway Park. I know, being from Texas myself, of course, the King of 360s, Ronald Laney Memorial was there. I grew up watching Ronald Laney. He passed away in an accident at this track. And it's kind of been a staple for the Florida Speed Weeks for a very long time and just racing history in general. So this racetrack, unfortunately, losing the Big Bang, the grand finale, and that is sad to see. It is sad to see. But, hey, I mean, bad things happen. And, of course, under this hurricane situation, this isn't the worst thing that has occurred. But, yeah, once again, the dates for the Jackson 100 have found a date now, and that is replacing the original East Bay Raceway Park date, October 11th and 12th. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I wanted to say. Just wanted to get a quick little video in. We're going to be having Tanner Holmes on, so stay tuned on the channel. Be sure to like the video, comment below with what you think about all this stuff going on. Is sprint car racing needing to move into, multi-year contracts? Is late model racing potentially needing to do that? Should these drivers try to own a little bit more themselves in job security? I think this is a big deal that this sport's going to have to transition into, just like all the other sports that get bigger and bigger. It ain't just a handshake agreement. It's not just one-year agreements with the performers and the platform. It's multiple. And like I said, the owners are being taken care of. What about these drivers? Those are the ones that depend on this sport and performing. I feel like, personally, I think, more than the owners who have businesses that more than likely fund all these things to begin with. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. As always, be sure to subscribe, and we will catch you next time. This is how we ride. This is how we do.